End of the round.
McCline, who looked so uptight and tense in his fight with Vladimir Klitschko. A different story here. Very calm, composed, relaxed against Sam Peter in this interim heavyweight title bout. Taking this fight on 10 days notice, McCline on the dark blue trunks.
Let him out, don't fire.
He was supposed to fight Devarel Williamson on this card, and before that, of course, a couple of weeks ago, Vitaly Klitschko in Munich. A machine gun series of punches there by McCline. Some of that got through. Then he looks to go downstairs. A wild swing and a miss off the left hook attempt by Peter. Peter then guns in with the right hand. And now he's starting to make some more contact, Peter.
And those were nice combinations, Steve. And when Sam Peter moves his hands in combination, obviously, he improves dramatically.
And Crestro has it this way. It's starting to get closer. Michael Woods from ESPN, the magazine, has it all even. George Willis, New York Post, Keith Idek from the Herald News and the Record.
And I've got McCline ahead by 1 point in this fight, because I gave the first 2 rounds to Peter and then only a 10-9 round in the 3rd round.
Starting to get interesting, at least along the panel of press row.
But Sam Peter's having himself a very good 7th round here.
Midway through it. Scheduled for 12 WBC Interim Heavyweight Championship.
The interesting thing, though, is would you have ever thought you'd be in round 7 saying, gee, when's the next time Jameel McCline's going to hurt Sam Peter? And that's kind of what you're thinking in this fight, because he's landed the more powerful punches for the most part.
Sort of laying in wait here. There's a big right hand that got through by Peter. Right on the jaw of McCline. Set it up with the jab. But McCline looks okay. And then he comes back with a left-right combination upstairs. Tough job for Michael Ortega to control these 2 guys. Huge right hand over the top by Peter. That has McCline holding.
That's the punch Sam Peter can land against these big guys. It's a little harder for him to get the hook in, but he finds a home for that overhand right. Jameel McCline has taken some pretty big shots from Sam Peter and not come close to going down.
If Peter can straighten that punch out, it could be Peter. It's a little too looping and wide right now.
Big round, though, for Sam Peter. This is one in which he's got himself back in the storm.
But back comes McCline, who finished strong the last round. And then body shots there by Peter. Not a lot of let up.
Right back. Okay, now you're working beautiful. Now you're starting to come back. Now listen, Samuel, be smart, be wise, man.
Come on, baby. Come on, Sam.
When he's grabbing hold of you, come up the middle with the uppercut.
Come on, you gotta wake up, baby. Wake up. You gotta wake up.
Look, this is your title. You can't let him
Come on,
give it up.
Early in the fight, Peter was landing this overhand right, and there with the jab as a rangefinder, he sets up this excellent right hand. And that one was delivered a little straighter. You pointed out, Steve, that the straighter it is, the better, and that one wasn't quite such a roundhouse. When we take another look at it, he had set this up with a couple of range-finding jabs, lands the right, and McCline holds on, as he has been doing for much of this fight.
And doing it when he had to, it's been the wise strategy.
Yep, it really has. And Michael Ortega might be taking a look at how much he's holding.
A lot of experience in that Sam Peter corner. The venerable Pops Anderson and veteran trainer Stacy McKinley. McKinley, the one yelling in the ear of Sam Peter, you gotta wake up, Sam. You gotta wake up.
Both these men have something in common. Limited amateur experience. McCline almost none. He started boxing very late in life, had that 5-year stay in prison. Peter only had 20 amateur fights. They've both learned as pros to a great extent. Even McCline at age 37, not much experience really.
Peter with the uppercut attempt did not connect, fortunately for McCline. And just as McCline was leaning in,
McCline's punch output has gone way down in the last couple of rounds.
And Peter has been slowly but surely taking advantage of that. About a minute gone by round 8.
Here's the uppercut.
And there's it again. Yeah. It startled Peter. Now Peter holds on.
This fight has become not just an interesting fight, a good tactical fight, too. There's a lot going on here, a lot of nuanced action in this fight.
A lot of people, I'm sure, thought that McCline, if he stood in front of Peter the way he is, he'd be in trouble. It'd be dangerous, but it's not happening.
And one of them sitting right next to you.
Is that right?
Yeah. But I was wrong.
Peter with the overhand right nearly to the back of the head. Ortega said if he did it one more time, he'd take a point. And right now, these points are critical. The jab by Peter. Close, one and done.
Close round here in round 8. A round there for the taking by either of these men.
Wait. Let's go. Let him out. Let's go. Let him out. Watch your head aside. Watch your head aside.
Jameel McCline noisy when he throws that jab, but it's not landing right now.
Peter always tries to sneak in one more as Ortega is breaking them up. Right uppercut on the inside by McCline, and Peter hangs on.
Step back, step back, step back. Watch your head coming in. Watch your head, Jameel. Okay, don't lean in.
Again, McCline sticking Peter with the jab.
It's a pivotal round, the close round here in the 8th.
It's an effective jab because it keeps Peter at bay.
Break, hold your punches, hold your head. Time!
Jameel McCline got back to using the uppercut in the last round. And it is a punch that can get there against Peter, and he doubled up with that punch. So, but those were really probably the only two he threw in that last round. So now you can't throw it too often because you can't throw it from way outside. But Peter is often in a position where you can throw that punch, and when McCline does it, he lands. That was a very close round.
Yeah, coming back, left hook, right hands now.
Deep breath, baby. Deep breath.
Man. Left hook, right hands on him, all right?
Okay?
Okay?
Come on, let's set him up, Sam. Let's set him up.
Okay?
All right. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Samuel.
Something new, Sam.
When Peter fought Vladimir Klitschko, he knocked Klitschko down 3 times and ended up losing a unanimous decision in the elimination fight. Could he survive 3 knockdowns and come back to win?
That's a very, very interesting point. If he runs the table on these rounds, or even I have really a very close fight, if he wins some of these last rounds, you're right, he may reverse his fortunes.
Wouldn't that be something?
Let him out, let's go. Let him out. Don't lean on him, let's go. Step back.
Well, while everybody is looking to anoint him as the next heavyweight star, when you really break it down, he's still learning.
That's exactly what his people say. They say, Pops Anderson and the people working with him say he's at about 60% of where he may get to. Again, because even though he represented Nigeria in the Olympics, only had 20 amateur fights. And that's exactly right. And what he's shown us tonight is, in addition to a lot of fortitude, in flashes, he's shown us again, that his skills are improving. And let's give Jameel McCline credit. He has fought very well.
Take a look at press row scoring now as things continue to get more interesting. It's 2 guys have McCline winning, and now Peter's ahead on Michael Woods' scorecard.
I have the draw at 76-76. And round 3 is the key for me because I made it only a 10-9 round for McCline with the knockdown because Peter had dominated. And someone may have that different.
If you're just tuning in, Sam Peter, the interim champion on the canvas for the first time in his career, and on the canvas 3 times at the fists of Jameel McCline.
Yeah, I meant round 2. Excuse me, I misspoke. That's the round I had 10.
There's a stiff jab by Peter. Will he follow it up with the right hand? Right now it's just a probing jab.
Let him out. Let's go. Wait. Let him go. Let him go. Let him out. Let him out. Hey, that was way low. Okay, pick him up. Let's go.
Michael Ortega, third man of the ring, gracious enough to wear a mic.
Break. Step back. Let's go. Hold the punches. That's it. Step back. Break. Let him out. Let him out. Don't push on him.
And more work for Ortega. Has to break up the holding, which becomes more frequent as the fight wears on. There's a nice little combination to the head by McCline towards the end of the round.
Step back, both of you.
And we invite you to participate in tonight's text message poll question. Who do you think the winner of tonight's bout should fight next? If you think tonight's winner should fight Vitaly Klitschko, text VK to SHOTV, that's 74688. Or if you think Oleg Moskaev should be the next opponent for tonight's winner, text OM to SHOTV, that's 74688. Standard text messaging rates apply.
And we should point out that Moskaev, as the WBC champ, is mandated to fight Peter next if he is physically able to do that. But still, you never know in boxing, do you?
And of course, we always enjoy hearing what the fans think.
Yep, we sure do.
The balls?
Yeah.
Don't worry, Jameel. Listen,
Come on.
This guy's dead on the inside.
He's dead too. Hey, listen to me. Put your arm down. He's dead too. Listen to me. Hey, this is your dream, baby. Are you listening to me?
Jameel, listen. You gotta leave it all here right now.
Okay, come on.
It's all you. Good job.
Matthew Drayton is now using the cheerleading tactics in the corner, telling Jameel McCline that it's his dream, because they obviously see that McCline is sort of winding down, and as this fight goes longer, of course, conditioning becomes such a huge factor. And of course, this could be a nightmare on the other side of the coin for Sam Peter. He didn't have to take this fight. He could have waited for Moskaev to come back. Of course, it would have been a longer wait, but he could have waited 3 or 4 more months to fight for the actual championship against Moskaev. What an upset this would be if McCline can pull it off.
Both men, as we said, their punch output has gone down, but they're still throwing pretty effective punches. They've also thrown some big punches, too. We've seen some bombs land. And there's that try for the uppercut by McCline.
As we get closer to the championship rounds, Peter's been 12 rounds 3 times, winning 2 of 3. McCline, 12 rounds 2 times, where he's 1 up and 1 down. Of course, the split decision loss to Chris Bird.
Sam Peter landing a big right hand after a series of jabs. But it's interesting. He's landing some monstrous punches, Steve, and Jameel McCline's holding up to them.
Well, we always knew that McCline had a good chin. McCline has not been down. As mentioned earlier, down 3 times in his career. 48 total fights.
You know, the body work of Peter could be starting to pay some dividends. He's been much more active to the body.
And then McCline comes back with that jab, which has been effective for him.
Wait. Let's go. Let him out. Let him out.
Body shots there by Peter.
Hey. Hey.
Peter is 2-1 in 12-round fights, and McCline is 1-1. So as we move on in this fight, obviously a factor.
Yeah, McCline with the win over Lance Whitaker and the loss to Bird.
Good round for Sam Peter.